We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
All right, it's that time of year. Cactus Wrestling presents the Fantasy Wrestling Lineup Challenge. Who will here wants a free Cactus Wrestling T-shirt? I know many people do. They're a hot button item. And before,
Highly coveted.
yeah, I mean, we're going to have a Cactus store up and running pretty soon, maybe after Nationals is over. But we want to reward the top scoring person for this little fantasy bracket challenge. It's more of a lineup rather than a bracket. So this video is just to clarify the rules and share with you Mike and I's picks for the lineup. I've posted a couple of links already describing the rules, but this video is to kind of break it down. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to select one wrestler per weight class, 10 total wrestlers. And by the way, you can find the link to the competition in the description down below. So it's a Google form. You just click the link and fill it out. It should take you 5 minutes. So you select one wrestler per weight class. The seed that wrestler is equals their cost in money. You have to spend at least $100 to be eligible for the game. So you have to spend 100 seeding points. The other restriction is
33 seeds, and then you could pick.
Yeah, 33 seeds, and then you could probably do a lot of lower seeds. The only catch is that you can only have at maximum one seed, two seeds, three seeds, four seeds, up to 10 seeds. So if you want to be quick and easy, you can do, all right, I'm just going to pick the number 10 seeded guy at every weight. That's my 100. And then the way we score it is we follow the tournament scoring rules. So you have advancement points, you have placement points based on their finish in the tournament, and then you have bonus points like the pins, techs, and majors. So we'll count up all of those points for your 10 wrestlers, add them up, and tally up the scores. And the number one scoring team fantasy lineup will win themselves a Cactus Wrestling T-shirt. It's nice. It's dry fit. It's a good material, and you get to pick your color. We have several different color options. There's gray. There's the lime green, which is the classic. I would probably suggest the lime green, but there's the red, blue. There's a couple different. I think there's an orange one as well. So to kind of give some context behind this, Mike and I are going to go through our lineups. But before we get into that, for those of you who have already filled it out, we have 12 people who, as of this filming, have completed this lineup. However, I just want to point this out in case you've already filmed it or filled it out and you're watching right now. I'm giving you a heads up. There are 2 invalid entries. I just want to call you out so that you can switch it if you still want a chance at the T-shirt, because the rules were not followed for 2 people. So first one, Alex Yanovich. Both people, Alex Yanovich and Matt M-A-T space M. You both chose multiple number 1 seeds. So your cost was good. You were 100. You were good on the cost, but you chose multiple 1 seeds. So again, you can only have a maximum of 1 seed, 2 seeds, 3 seeds. So if you want a crack at the T-shirt, go back into the form and fill out a new form, or comment down below if that was you with your corrected lineup so that we can enter you into the competition. Because as of right now, those lineups you sent in are invalid. Final 2 shout outs before Mike and I get into our picks. Michael Trinidad, you chose Vito Arujau, but you listed him as the 9 seed. He's actually the 6 seed. So your total equals 100 as a cost. But since Vito is actually the 6 seed, your cost is actually only 97. So I'm not saying you're invalid, but what I can do for you right now, in case you want to switch it, is I will put in Dominic Serrano in place of Vito because he is the 9 seed. Otherwise, you also need to go back in there and add 3 more seeding points to a different weight class if you wanted to keep Vito at 133. Same thing for Kevin Suhr. That's Suhr. You chose Peyton Mako as the 22 seed at 165 pounds. Peyton Mako is actually at 174 pounds. So, silly little error there. If you wanted Mako, you would have to switch out who you chose at 174. But in the meantime, to reserve your lineup, I can put in Noah Mulvaney, who is the 22 seed at 165 pounds, because that is what you listed Mako 22, except wrong weight class. So again, Michael Trinidad, Kevin Suhr, Alex Yanovich, and Matt M. The only 2 invalid ones are Alex Yanovich and Matt M. Michael Trinidad and Kevin Suhr. Michael, I'm giving you Serrano in the meantime, and Kevin, I'm giving you Mulvaney in the meantime in case you want to switch it. Okay, that's enough blabbing on. Let's get to the fun part. Mike and I are going to announce who we chose for our lineups. If you if you want a free T-shirt, you could just listen to this guy right here, because this is the winning.
Oh yeah, just submit the lineup we pick.
Yeah. But
judging
on the
last
comments,
year, there was someone in the comments that had a better lineup than me at very least.
Yeah, we did. Whoever, I think we only had one person play last year. We were still growing, and they definitely beat us. So, and judging on the playful comments that we typically get, I don't think you guys are going to listen to us anyway. But in case you do care, Mike, you want to kick it off at 125 pounds? Who you chose?
Yeah, sure. But do you want to pull up a sheet so they can see the picks ongoing? Yeah. Also, just for fun, since Mike isn't able to be filming with us tonight, I made a team kind of with him in mind, with guys that I think he would like or consider picking. I mean, he can at a later time can comment on what he thinks, because he doesn't even know neither's Jack, doesn't know the team I picked for Mike. But we'll see. Maybe I picked a better team for Mike than I did for myself. Hard to say. But anyhow, so at 125, this is may be an interesting pick, but I picked Michigan State's Tristan Lujan.
Whoa. Is he, 32?
He's the 33 seed at 125. He's tough. I mean, I watched him at Big Tens. He had close matches left and right. He had a overtime match with D'Agostino. He had a 2-1 match with Ramos. He beat Macron. 4-2 match with Barnett. 7-3 match with Braden Davis. Overtime match with Dean Peterson. Like, he's right there in the mix. I feel like he could be a dark horse to make some noise.
Okay.
So that's why I picked Tristan Lujan, 33 seed.
And you can see my screen, right?
I can see your screen, yep.
Great. Tristan Lujan. 33. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, hey, anything can happen at 125, so why not?
Yeah, exactly.
So who'd you pick for Mike Long?
Oh, so for Mike, this is a better pick for him. I picked Dean Peterson. Now, he's the 16 seed, but I mean, as Big Tens was any sign, this guy is right there in the mix with all of these top guys. Like, he could beat any one of them. Like, I mean, you were thinking after who was it that he beat? Freaking Ramos, that he was destined to make the finals after beating Ramos Big Tens, and then he doesn't. He then gets beat. So I think he's definitely an All-American threat, and I feel like this is the type of guy that Mike would have been looking at to pick.
The only problem is that he might go against Braden Davis. And
that's not even a problem. They've wrestled and it's been overtime.
No, I know, but Mike Long is obviously going to favor Penn State in that match.
But he can't pick more than one seed.
No, I know. I'm just saying that in that matchup, he'd probably prefer Davis than his own guy in the fantasy lineup.
Oh yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like I'm thinking like in the fantasy lineup, he of all the 1 seeds that Penn State has, Braden Davis is not the 1 seed he would have picked.
Well, out of any 1 seed, really.
Yeah, out of any 1 seed, I don't think he's the 1 seed that Mike.
I agree with that. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, 25, there's really no bad pick here, even the 33 like you did. I went a different route. I chose Eric Barnett, who is the 10.
Yeah, that's a solid choice.
And my rationale here is he's got Tanner Jordan first round. I think he should be able to win that. Then he's got the winner of Jacob Camacho, Blake West. I just feel like Camacho's never All-Americans.
Barnett has.
Multiple times.
Yeah, multi times. Yeah.
And
freaking Barnett could have been in the finals of Big Tens.
Could
have won Big Tens.
Well, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
I want a legal move away.
He's lost to Luke Stanek before in Midlands. Yep. However, I think Stanek's had a tough draw because he'll probably, if he wins against Klinsky, he'll have the winner between Caleb Smith and DiAugustino. And I think personally, I might be picking an upset there with Stanek losing early rounds because I don't trust these seeds.
No, I hear you on that. DiAugustino is a guy that could definitely pull off an upset or two, but not more than one.
I didn't choose DiAugustino, even though he's the 18, because the guy doesn't get bonus points. And for this bracket, you want to try and get as many bonus points as possible. So DiAugustino wrestles tight matches. So even though he might advance pretty far, I think Barnett probably might be able to make a quarter/semifinals in the tournament, and that's what I'm banking on.
Yeah, fair.
All right, so I can go at 35, 33 to kick it off. We'll maybe snake it around. So 33, I chose a guy that I think has a lot of upset potential. I chose Nasir Bailey of Little Rock.
Okay. I was considering him, but yeah, okay.
Oh wait, he's the 7.
Yep.
So just looking at the brackets, I think he'll have probably Aaron Nagel. I mean, Cade Moore's tough. That's a first round, but Bailey only has 2 losses on the year, one of them to Vito. I think we don't really know. Like, Crookham is definitely the real deal. He's beaten Nagel. He's beaten Vito twice. But I just feel like Nasir Bailey he's just a hammer of an opponent. It's going to be interesting to see him clash against Crookham. I think he might be able to upset him and make the semis. And the dude can get some bonus points. So I chose Nasir.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty solid pick. Mike might be kicking me for who I picked for him. But he's the only guy I'm aware of that has been stabbed this season and decided to, come back and still.
Whoa, Cade Moore?
Yeah, Cade Moore.
Wow, that's the guy that is against Nasir first round.
Yeah. So I picked Cade Moore for. I mean, he was an up and coming. He was like a real hammer at that weight up until the stabbing, and then I mean he's still wrestling real competitively. So I mean I feel like all in all is a solid. Yeah, he's got a hammer of a first round, but
it's all how you wrestle back,
Yeah, and well. Yeah, you're but hey, who knows? Maybe he's got that upset potential. But
yeah, we don't. Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah. So that's who I picked for Mike, and then for myself, I went with the returning champ, Vito. Figured at the 6th seed, you can't go wrong with the returning champ, especially since he's not even the top seeded guy and not even close to the top seeded guy. So
yeah.
He's definitely capable of making the run. I don't know that he's necessarily going to pull it off, but
yeah, I think as long as he wrestles to his, well, that's a loaded statement. As long as he wrestles to his ability, he should win. Okay, yeah, cool. But I'm just saying, like, Kairini is the 3 seed and Vito's the 6. I feel like
Yep.
Arini's definitely tough, but of the other guys that he could have gotten for a potential quarterfinals, I feel like Arini is a good matchup for him to advance.
Yeah.
So, all right, interesting. All right, why don't you start off with your pick for Mike Long here?
Okay, so Mike has said this before. I don't know if he said it on camera, but he has said it before. He could see Real Woods knocking off Bo in the semis at Nationals. He could see that be when Woods actually shows up and does what he's, unquote, supposed to have done. And now that, Bartlett has had that one loss, and I mean, Mike tends to, he said it before. When I he picks against Bo usually does well. So it's very on brand for him to pick against Bo here and go with Real Woods.
Wow, okay. Iowa
And,
guy in Mike Long's fantasy lineup. He's gonna love that.
hey,
He's
I
gonna
did
see
my
these
best,
first
Mike.
three.
I
He'd be like,
tried.
you got a guy going against Penn State first round. You got the 26 seed, and then an Iowa guy who notoriously Iowa doesn't
Well,
do
like I
well.
said, Mike can comment on my team for him and let me know if he agreed with any of it. But
Yeah. I think that's funny. So that's funny. Okay, I went a completely different route. I needed to throw a Hail Mary like you did with Lujan. I actually chose Clay Carlson for 141.
former All-American like 2-3 years ago.
No, and last year, you tend to forget.
Oh, was he last year too?
Yes, he was last year, and
He's the 30 seed.
he's the 30 seed. Yes, and he
Oh,
has
and hey, Real Woods first
he has
round.
Real Woods first round, and guess what? He's beaten Real Woods at the NCAA tournament a few years ago. So I figured, okay, this guy, he's always an All-American round of 12 guy. It's definitely a shot in the dark because he did not do well at Big 12s. But hey, maybe Real Woods doesn't cut weight right. It's the first match after weigh-ins. He could get an upset potentially, and then it's the winner of Malik Hines, Jesse Vasquez. Maybe he makes his way to the quarters, and then it's probably Lachlan McNeil or Josh Coderhant. Maybe he can make the semis. Definitely not what I'm predicting, but that's what I'm hoping for my lineup at least.
Yeah, that's a big hope, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, good luck to you on that one.
Hey, I'm not expecting any points here. I just needed to make room for other weights.
So I picked number 5 seed Anthony Echemendia.
Ooh.
He's proven to be right there in the mix with anybody at the weight that he's gone up against. He's a real threat. I think he's definitely going to make the podium. And I feel like he could give just about anybody a run for their money. I mean, he could. I think Mendez is likely to beat him if they do meet in the semis, but still, I think he could go deep.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick too. Just looking, Ryan Jack is the 4 seed. I think he matches up pretty good if they make the quarters there. I don't know if he'll beat Mendez, but hey, I mean the guy's wrestled really well all year, so cool. Okay. By the way, we're not in the running for the T-shirt, so even if we win,
Oh,
we're not
darn
giving
it.
ourselves a T-shirt. So you don't have to, sweat about that. One of our fans is getting a T-shirt. All right. 49. So this is another one I don't really feel confident about, but I needed to make room for other weights. I chose Jordan Williams, who's the 20 seed. I think he may have gotten injured at Big 12s, which is a little concerning, but a
A
lot of
lot
guys,
of guys got injured, like,
yeah,
and we don't know how severe they were, like at the conference tournaments, like they defaulted out or didn't wrestle. So
yeah, and he's got Caleb Bracci, who also seemed like he was banged up first
yeah.
round. So I'm thinking maybe he could pull. They didn't wrestle in the duel because Voinovich wrestled, but um, if he wins that, he'll probably have Caleb Henson, which I'm not expecting him to beat that match. But I was in a tough spot here because I wanted to pick other guys, so I just chose Jordan Williams.
Yeah, that was still pretty solid overall choice. Can't go wrong. So I chose Kyle Parko.
Whoa.
Yeah, using one of the top seeded guys. Because I mean, realistically, I was looking at the bracket. I think he's got a pretty solid path to the semis. Like, I mean, he's got his first rounds Finn Solomon, second round Corbin Munson or Cody Bond. Then he's probably going to have Kasek or Lamer or maybe a Boss. I doubt a Boss, but still. And then he would probably have what? Arrington, D'Amelio, Willichel, Gomez, Quinner. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like in any one of those matches, like he could be right there in the mix. And since he's the only guy to have beaten Ridge Lovett this year,
yeah, he could win it.
I mean, he could. I mean, after watching the All-Star Classic, I was like, this guy, he's over the hill.
Hey, that was November. This is
March. And that was also when Shane Van Ness was healthy. So it was a different time then. So I don't know how Mike would feel about this pick that I have for him, but hopefully
you've got three All-Star picks to start, so keep them coming.
I got Dylan D'Amelio here, the 14 seed.
All right. Another Big Ten, not Penn State.
So, Dylan D'Amelio, he last year was not seeded All-American, and he did. He turns it up for this tournament. I mean, he was real competitive at Big Tens in all of his matches. And, I think he's a goer, and I feel like
yeah, and he has beaten Arrington, which he could have in the second round. So
yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's not a terrible path for him. So there's a D'Amelio for Mike.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he loves the Big Ten, so we're doing him justice in that capacity.
Yeah, that's true. I got 3 out of 4 in the Big Ten there.
All right, let's start off with Mike Long's pick for 157.
So 157, I feel like he talks about this guy a fair amount, and is a fan of Cody Chittum. Ever since he left Iowa for Iowa State, again the 14 seed. I mean, he's proven he is competitive with these top guys. A lot of the time, he's the better wrestler. When he does lose, it's something just doesn't work out where, like, especially that match against Ryder Downey in the Big 12 finals. Like, he out wrestled him, but still managed to lose because of the caution, and then, didn't get the takedown. Like, he's got the skills, and, I think he could do really well.
Nice.
So I chose Chittum for Mike there.
And then who did you choose?
I chose Mike probably would prefer my choice, but I chose Meyer Shapiro. So I feel like Meyer is definitely, ever since Vegas, he's been like laser sharp, and I feel like he's become definitely a title contender. Like, he's definitely right there in the mix. So you got to watch out for him. So, I mean, and these two could be
they could match
second
up.
round
Right
there. I mean, we almost saw it at
Vegas,
but then it didn't work out. But who knows?
Wow. Well, up until this point, we haven't had a duplicate until now.
Uh-oh.
Which one, though? Who did I choose?
Judging by all your high seeds, you probably picked Meyer.
I did. I chose Meyer Shapiro. I think, yeah, he's definitely a title contender, like you said. I think that while I'm excited for the Chittum matchup, I was not impressed with Chittum's bottom against Ryder Downey. He was able to get ridden out, and I feel like Shapiro's on par or even a better rider than Ryder Downey. So I think if it comes to mat wrestling, Shapiro has the edge. If he can beat Cardenas, if Cardenas gets that far, that's one of his only losses. But I think Shapiro's looked really well, and will continue to perform well at NCAAs. Okay, we are halfway through. I will start. I chose a guy who has big bonus point potential here. I chose Mitch Messenbrink. I think that his path at this weight class is
It's pretty
Favorable.
glorious for him.
It's pretty favorable. I mean, he's teched Brevin Casella. That could be a second-round match. He's majored Cam Amin. He hasn't wrestled Olenek. He's tech-fold Caliendo. If Caliendo gets there, I don't have much faith in Ramirez. So I'm pegging Messenbrink as a finalist and banking on bonus points as well.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Yeah. That's fair. So I burned my 1 seed here. I picked Keegan O'Toole,
Nice.
despite the fact that he's got Hamity, Carr, Peyton Hall, Caleb Fish, Antrell Taylor. Like he's got all these guys on his side of the bracket that Messenbrink gets to miss. I still think, like I said in our O'Toole Carr preview, he's going undefeated against Carr. He's going to win another title. He's lasered in, and he's good at getting bonus.
Yes.
And for Mike, I figured, it wouldn't be right to have a team that didn't have anyone on Penn State. So I also picked Mitch Messenbrink for Mike. I mean, Mike loves Messenbrink, especially because of Messenbrink's pace. He loves talking about Messenbrink's pace. So that in of itself, like the guy just goes. So that's why I thought Mike would definitely be eyeballing Messenbrink, especially because he's also got a high bonus rate as well.
He's gonna love that.
Yeah, he's gonna love that part of the lineup. I don't know about the rest, but
oh, all right. 74. This was a tough one for me. I chose someone kind of shot in the dark here. I chose Peyton Mako at 22 seed. He's on the bottom half of the bracket. I think the bottom half of this bracket is definitely weaker than the top half. He was an All-American last year. He'll have probably Rocco Welsh if he can win his first match. Welsh is a freshman, really tough to score on and beat, but Mako is veteran guy. I think he'll find his way to win at least a few matches, either in the consolations or in the championship. So not expecting too much because he's 22, but feel okay that he'll get some points.
Okay. So I went. I mean, I feel like how could you not go for Carter as the 9 seed? I mean, granted, I know his knee. We don't know how severe of a knee injury it is, and how much that's going to affect him. But I figured you got the 3-time national champ. It's hard to bet against him.
See, that's why I didn't choose him because I don't think he's gonna do great and score points. But I figured everyone's probably gonna choose him because the value. So I was like, if I want a chance to win, maybe I can differentiate myself. Because if everyone's choosing Carter, then it's
That's
like,
true.
Right.
It doesn't help you or hurt you.
Yeah, everyone's just gonna. It's now okay. How am I gonna win on the 9 weights? So I just want to choose something different than the norm, I guess.
So don't worry, Mike didn't go with Carter.
What? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, who did he choose?
Mike's gonna love this pick, because Patrick.
No, you did not give him Iowa over Penn State.
Yes, I did. Well, because
on the top half,
a higher seed. So, because Patrick Kennedy, he's got that high pace as well, and honestly, he's got a pretty good path. Like, I think he could easily beat Ishins, Canigliaro, Sima. I mean, that's definitely a winnable match. Then he's going to have a rematch with Griffith, which was really close at Big Tens, and he also injured Griffith. So, I mean, it's not crazy to say he could make it.
He could.
The semis.
You're banking
he's a grinder. Mike enjoys that about guys that wrestle like that.
Yeah, he loves the fact he's picking Iowa to perform in March because they're so well known for that.
So yes, Mike, you can roast me later.
He's got 2 Iowa guys right now. Wow. Hey, I mean, we don't know how healthy Griffith or Strachey is, so maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
That's what I said. Mike's team might outperform mine, so
yeah,
we'll see.
Okay. Well, let's switch the order. Why don't you go with your pick for 180?
So who I went with here at 84, he impressed me at Big Tens. Jaden Bullock took third. He's looking really sharp, really tough, really competitive. I think he's ready to make a name for himself and find his way onto that podium. I think Bullock's ready to do some work. And
And you took a picture of him.
I took a picture of him with his high school coaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
They asked me to, so that was great. I mean, and he also seriously improved upon, again, Pinto. I think he could. Pinto's probably not loving the matchup he's having with
Yeah, that was a close match.
with Bullock. Like I don't think he's looking forward to this. This is gonna be the third time they wrestle. So like I think Bullock can knock him off. So that's why I went with Bullock.
Okay.
And then for Mike, I chose Trey Munoz.
Okay.
I feel like this is a guy that Mike would be on board with and could foresee him doing. I mean, he's right now. Munoz and Kakaisen are in the same spots they were last year, so they could be in the semis against each other. And as long as Munoz doesn't get injured, maybe it'll be a real competitive match.
Could be. Could be.
So,
Well, I went with the one guy that I feel the most confident about winning a title out of any weight class. I chose Parker Ketkaizen. I think he's going to win it. I think he's going to get some bonus points. I used my 1 seed. Yeah, I'm expecting a title from him. He deserves it.
there you go. I mean,
Okay.
considering he majored plot is definitely a huge check mark in his favor.
Yeah.
So,
all right. I'll lead off 197. So this is another one. Another high bonus guy. I went with Trent Hidley. So I'm expecting him to make the finals, get bonus points. He's undefeated. And who knows? Maybe he could beat Brooks. They wrestled really close.
He's been close to it before
in the finals.
And then there was that one clip that what is it, Mike or you sent?
Yeah,
just watched it or something where Brooks was like fleeing the mat, even grabbed the mat, and they didn't call anything.
Right. That was a 3-2 match, and Hidley was in on the shot. So he's definitely capable. We'll see. I'm not really banking on a championship, but I think he'll get bonus and he'll make the finals at very least.
Yeah. So Mike obviously went with his best bud, Aaron Brooks.
Ah, there it is.
He loves Aaron Brooks. Cannot say anything but good things about Aaron Brooks. He wants him to get the fourth title probably more than Aaron Brooks.
Yeah.
So Mike definitely would have picked Aaron Brooks as the guy he's most confident in. I don't think he would even entertain that Trent Hidley could beat him. So
yep, that's fair.
Yeah, so I think Aaron Brooks is where it's at, and that's where Mike would land. I went with Luke Serber, Oklahoma State, 27 seed.
Whoa.
He's a tough guy. I mean, I needed to pick some lower seeds based on the high seeds that I'd chosen. And this enabled me to pick some of the higher seeded guys that I did.
Wow, you're rooting for him against Lou first round?
I wouldn't exactly say I'm rooting for him, but I was okay with choosing him as opposed to the 28 or 28 through 33 seeds.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I doubt he's going to beat Lou, but if he did, then kudos to Serber.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we are at our last weight. How about Mike Long goes first?
So Mike Long, I feel like he's had a love-hate relationship with this guy. And I mean, I doubt this would have been his first choice at this weight, but I do think he does like Feldman, the 9 seed. And like, I think he has that All-American potential. He's proven that he can definitely beat these returning All-Americans. And I feel like Mike would have definitely considered him when he needed someone in mid-tier range seed. I tried to give him some higher seeded guys. I mean, he does have a 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed, but then the rest are kind of higher.
Middle of the road, yeah.
Yeah. So Mike, I tried. If this team isn't good, I'm sorry. I tried to think how you would think, and at times I'm questioning whether or not I did a good job. But
Hey, there's a lot of Big Ten. I think that's the big thing. He
yeah, he
loves the
does
Big Ten.
love Big Ten, and he does like Iowa State. So
Yeah.
Cade Moore, Missouri is, I guess, the outlier, and Munoz. But
All right. All right. I can see it. I mean, I think he'll make the quarters, Feldman. So, and he'll
yeah,
probably be an All
yeah, I
American.
think yeah. I mean, I don't think he's gonna. I mean, maybe he'll take down Kirk again and then lose, like he did in the Big Ten finals. But yeah, I definitely think he's got that All American threat.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe. Maybe.
so
Um, all right. You want to go first or me?
yeah, here I'll go. I'll go. So
Okay.
I've been I I love the image of this guy that he's been posting as him as the Grim Reaper.
I
How
already
he's been
know
just
who it is.
checking people off his list. And the only person left on his list is Greg Kirkley. And okay, granted, he is going to have to go through at least two of the guys on his list, assuming they get there. Is Lucas Davison was one of the guys that he beat that was on his list, and Wyatt Hendrickson. He's beaten them both, and I mean, I think he's the guy that could beat Greg. Like he could definitely do it. Not saying Wyatt can't, but Wyatt's coming off of getting what teched at freaking the All Star Classic. I lost a lot of faith in Wyatt after watching that match. Granted, he might not have been at 100%, but um, Younger's undefeated. He's only been taken down like once or twice um, all year. So like, I think he's definitely a a real threat to win the title against Greg.
All right. And if my math is right, does this put him at 101?
I thought I had him at 100.
42, 45, 59,
73.
73, 75, 87, 91, 92,
Oh no, yeah, 101.
101. If I have those seeds correctly, and you're at 100, right?
Yeah, I counted myself at 100. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And to comment on your pick, Younger, yeah, I mean, I was in a tough spot as well. I am definitely rooting for him for very similar reasons. However, for my bracket, I didn't have any more two spots available, so I went with the next best thing. I went with Wyatt Hendrickson, and
That's a great pick.
I said, hey, like he was, I think the highest scoring non-champ just for bonus points. The dude's gonna get at least 3 pins. So
Yeah, that's true. He's like synonymous with pins.
yeah. So I don't know if he'll win this thing. I honestly hope he does, but either way, he's gonna score a lot of team points. So
So just interesting to look at. You have one, two, three, four, five, six of your picks are in the top 10. Three, four, five, six. My picks for Mike, only five are in the top 10. And then for myself is six. Sorry, Mike. I didn't do that on purpose.
yeah, but his lowest is 26 and ours is 30 and 33.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
And
there's
that
a
guy,
good chance that I'm going to get 0 points at 25 and 0 points at 97.
yeah, but that's the trade-off. I mean, do you do a more consistent, like middle of the range, or do you throw some weights and then try and bank on the points at the weights that you're expecting?
Well, that there's a million different ways to do it, which is why this is great.
I
Yeah,
just think it's hilarious that Mike Long couldn't have, shifted things around 3 points, especially since he's at 101 to get down to Carter, and instead goes for Kennedy.
okay, so mistakes may have been made.
Hey,
I thought of it, right before we were about to fill. I was like, oh, let me make a lineup for Mike.
And that's great. No one even expected you to do that. So that's
Yeah.
great. And I'm going to laugh when this lineup right here beats both of us.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I mean, I think I only have one of the same, and you don't have any of the same. And then we have one of the same with Shapiro.
Yeah, no, that really, yeah, there's only those two weights are the only two with any overlap.
Very different than
Pyro,
last
measuring
year,
rink.
where I think you and I had like 4 of the same or something.
Yeah, well, last year, because there was what's his face? Killian Cardinale as the 26 seed was like, how do you not pick him?
Yeah.
And then Gomez was like a 14 seed. It was like, how do you not pick him?
Yeah. That's why I think Starachi is a popular pick at 9. But well, there you have it. Like I said in the beginning of the video, look in the description down below for the Google form to compete in the the fantasy lineup challenge. And you could win yourself a free Cactus Wrestling T-shirt. So good luck and happy March Madness. And comment down below what you think. And we hope you win a free Cactus Wrestling T-shirt. The winner will be announced in the first video after the tournament is over, probably Monday. What is that? The 25th. So we'll do a recap video and we'll announce the winner in that video. So stick around. You might win. And thanks for watching Cactus Wrestling.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.